Hello, привет, bonjour, hola, hello. I'm going to talk about how language opens the world to me. Do you know what the key of life is? This key that can stop chaos, this key that can start a revolution, it is communication, and we communicate through language. Most of humans learn to speak the language of the country in which they grew up. So let's imagine a little Japanese kid that is lost at the supermarket. Someone asks him if he needs help. He understands and replies that he is lost. After a while, they find the child's mother, and he goes home safe. But let's imagine this same Japanese boy lost at a supermarket in Italy. It would be way more chaotic, and it would take longer to find his mother. This same situation can happen to an adult or a teenager. And this is a clear example of how important language is, even though if you're not a child. It's good to know that since we're babies, we learn that we must communicate so that our needs can get solved. We learn that we must not stay quiet. As we grow up, we understand that new needs are developed. Let's call them social needs. We develop these new needs so that we can create our own personalities and become fully grown persons. We learn that we must express them. We cannot stop communicating. If we do, we die. It's like when someone is feeling sick, but does not express it. Then he or she may have bad consequences. Time has gone by, and humankind evolved. Therefore, languages were created. Our brains evolved, and we became more precise and civilized. So instead of just shouting and making noises like other animals, we created more complex sounds that became words. Our strange traces became letters. Words and letters that nowadays we cannot read anymore. These came from many different ancient languages and alphabets, such as Latin, the Old Anglo-Saxon, Futhark, and many, many more. As we know, they collided, giving birth to some of the languages that now we have. Unfortunately, these are almost gone, but that is how evolution works. Different languages were created in different places, and this was done so that we could share our knowledge only with the people inside our social circle. That is why language is a very important fact when it comes to our roots and when it comes to our identity. Language is a barrier, and as a barrier, it has some advantages and some disadvantages. There are people inside your social circle. They have crossed the barrier, bringing with them tools and wisdom. But there are also people outside the barrier that have tools and wisdom to share, and unfortunately they cannot cross it. Our society keeps growing, and so our needs. So, after communicating them, and in order to make things easier, new things are created. Thus, technology is involved. Now we live in a globalized world. That means we're all connected. You can navigate through the web and chat with someone from India or Europe and learn something about them. But if you do not speak the same language, if you do not know how to communicate, the opportunity can be wasted. Now that we have reached this point of how the situation is currently, I'm going to talk about myself. I was born in Mexico City, but my family is from Chilpancingo, Guerrero, so I was expected to live my life there. As you can imagine, there's a very low percentage of people that speak English there, so I was expected to learn this amazing language. Thanks to a twist of fate, I moved to Mexico City and entered the Mexican-American school, where I started to learn English. Since I was a toddler, I was a fan of music, in English though. As I kept growing, I kept learning and discovering new things. And when I was around 11, I discovered that I wanted to be a superhero. And the only way to do so was by becoming an actor. Acting became my only big passion in life. But acting in Mexico means acting in cheap soap operas with very bad roles. So I was planning to go to USA and enter the film industry there. But then I changed my mind. Now I want to act in musical theater. So it is not only important that I can speak English correctly, but also that I can sing it. Also, because I have always wanted to be a superhero and do good, I want to work at the UN. And we all know that learning English and as many languages as possible is crucial for this. I can say that learning English is one of the best opportunities I have gotten, because it has helped me to become a better person when it comes to knowledge, but also when it comes to life. It has been proven that when you think in a foreign language, you make better decisions and you think clearer than when you think in your native language. Language has not only opened many doors in my world, but it has also transformed it. Thanks to language, I am who I am. Thanks to language, I strive towards these amazing goals. In my opinion, language is the strongest tool we have. Language means greatness. Language means evolution. Language means mankind. But it also means this thing we all long for. Language means knowledge. Thank you.